I was just thinking about, again, this tension between freedom and regulation, and how I don't know if, I can't really use the word we, but sort of, so I'll just use the word I, was sort of taken in by a lot of positive crypto social media sentiment, right? And then ultimately I got burned, and a lot of people got burned, and a lot of people are now crying out for regulation,
Yeah, that's kind of a
right?
natural
Right.
progression. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just thinking about, I guess, the principles about, what should or should not be
Well,
regulated.
it's always a middle ground you gotta dance around. I
Yeah.
don't think one extreme or the other is ever necessarily the best, but
Like I was trying to think, like, how exactly does regulation, help, right? And one thing that I was thinking about is, but a lot of it has to do with basically just access to information. I feel like company like Celsius or whatever, if they're quote unquote getting regulated, right? That is sort of saying that, so there's some government body essentially it has access to certain information about Celsius, and they can also obviously take
yeah,
enforcement action.
yeah.
But I feel like the access to information is the bigger issue, right? Like it's not that we needed somebody to go and, with a heavy hand, or have all these laws that say you can't do this or you can't do that.
It's not
But I think
just access to information. It's also if you fuck up, there are laws on the books that punish you,
that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
right? You can go to jail if you are in the traditional finance sector and you break one of the many rules. You can go to jail.
Hmm.
I don't think that you can necessarily even go to jail for some of these crypto infractions, can you?
Yeah, maybe not. But I just think probably, if people had more access to, some internal information at a company like Celsius or whatever, we wouldn't necessarily even need regulation, right? Like we would
Maybe,
we would
right.
be able to make our own decisions. Yeah.
But you only have that information because of regulation.
Right, right,
Otherwise, if they're not forced to give you up that information, then they don't.
right, right. So yeah, I would support, I guess, some regulation that would grant us more access to information.
It is always a tension that exists. That's true. And I don't think there's one way to go about it. It's not ever, oh, people can do whatever the hell they want or people should be regulated to the hilt. I don't think either is correct, but there's
Mhm.
always some sort of middle ground we have to strike. It'll be the same with Twitter. It'll be the same with crypto. It'll be the same with everything. It's going to be some sort of middle ground.
Yeah. With crypto, social media, especially Twitter, had so much influence on what people wind up doing,
No,
right?
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, what's happening right now is FTX imploded. And then now we're finding, here's the thing. Oh, I'm finding out all this stuff about FTX now. Like they there was like a dozen people living in a mansion in the Bahamas and they were running the whole thing and they were all in some sort of weird
Wait,
polyamory thing.
is
What's going
that
on?
why Rahul Ligma was in he looked like he might have been in the Bahamas. I don't know. Did you see that?
Yeah, yeah. It was because they're in the Bahamas, and I'm like, what's going on? And I found out that the COO or the CEO of Alameda is this dumb, nerdy girl that people say only got her job because she's having sex with Sam Bankman-Fried.
Wow.
And I didn't know all this, right? But it wasn't hidden either. And I'm just wondering why this kind of stuff didn't come to light, before everything imploded.
Mm, mm.
Because
I
this
guess,
is the
yeah,
type of thing
yeah.
that if I knew that the guy running this company was operating his company this way, I would have serious doubts about the health of that company. But wasn't really
Yeah.
talked about very much, was it?
It just shows, I guess, people weren't looking, and it wasn't like the timing just wasn't right for it to go viral, I guess.
Right. Well, the thing is, they played interviews of her. It's not like she was hidden. She did interviews
Hmm.
that were dated months ago, and yet nobody at that time rang the alarm bell and said, this is fishy. This is really fishy. I don't have trust in your company anymore. Nobody said it at the time. It's easy in hindsight, but nobody said it at the time, and I didn't. I would like to think if I saw that, at the time, like the interview, I would come to the same conclusion that it's fishy. But I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I would just think, oh, it's a nerdy girl who just happens to be the CEO, I guess. I don't. FTX seems to be healthy.
It's so ironic that FTX was considered one of, I mean, they were, or Sam was basically considered like a possible savior for some of these other companies, right?
Yeah, people thought he was invulnerable. He
Yeah.
wasn't. He couldn't even handle one little bank run.
What do you think about that Twitter thread you sent me, where it was basically, if you believe that Twitter thread, they're basically saying that CZ is the one who started this, basically by
Oh,
threatening
I
to
no, yeah,
sell.
I think that's true. He did it. But
Threat,
why is your company so vulnerable that CZ saying he dumped your token would create a bank run on you?
that's just so bad.
Right?
But
Why is your company that vulnerable?
but yeah, I mean, but do you believe that
Yes,
thread?
I
I
believe
guess.
it. I believe it. I believe it.
Okay.
It's a cutthroat game out there, and I
But
have no
it's
doubt.
don't you think it's a massive own goal?
No, I don't. I don't. If Binance is the only, like the biggest and the strongest exchange coming out the other end of this crypto winter, it's not an own goal.
There's so many exchanges though. Yeah,
Yeah, but if you can get rid of the number two,
think about how much money he's probably lost, not just from FT, whatever the hell the token was, FTT or
hmm.
whatever, but just the crypto market taking another, I don't know,
Yeah.
what was it, like 20% hit or whatever the hell it was.
Well,
He probably lost a ton of money.
but he got rid of his main competitor.
Was FTX even his main competitor? I
That's
doubt
what he
it.
must have thought. I would have to think that he
No
believed it.
way. I mean, there's so many other like what's the one that what's the
Whatever. I
one?
just
We both use that one. It's like it might also be
KuCoin.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Kucoin,
I just don't.
Kraken,
You just
whatever.
have to. You just have to. I don't know.
Gemini.
I can't figure
Like
out what his mindset is.
I I think I think it was an own goal. Uh,
Maybe he's
yeah.
not infallible, but he wasn't intentionally doing it. He was just probably thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna take down FTX."
Even though I have I think he supposedly had billions, I think. Or I don't know if it's billions of tokens or billions of dollars, but he had a lot of FTT token.
He did, but
I think
it's
it
all
was
dead
billions.
now.
It was probably billions of dollars of
It was
FTT
2 billion. 2 billion. He
token.
said he would dump on the market, and he dumped some of it. I'm sure he sold some of it, and the rest that he couldn't dump is now worthless.
That should have been written in Alameda or whatever research on their balance sheet. That token should have been written in as a zero, basically, because it's like
Probably.
Celsius with cell token saying that,
Right.
we got this much cell token, and then that's
Well,
why our balance sheet is X hundreds of millions, which is total BS because the
it's hard for
liquidity
them to
is,
do. It's hard for them to do.
yeah.
These people, they became billionaires based on these imaginary tokens. So it's really hard to look at your own token and just say this is worthless. Like part of why they're billionaires now is because they put so much faith in various tokens that are just these black boxes of nothing speculative value. Oh, did you see like KuCoin did a proof of reserves and their second highest reserve is SHIB. I'm not joking. Like
How
17% of their reserves is in Shiba. It's better is higher than their ETH reserve.
dude, it blows my mind.
Do you understand? Like they're like
Yeah.
$500 million in SHIB.
Shiba Inu right now is still has a market cap of 5.8 billion.
Yeah, and KuCoin has like 500 million of that. And people can say, well, that's proof that they've got this $500 million here, right? So if I want my money and I want to withdraw it, then they've got 5 billion, they've got 500 in SHIB or
Not
whatever.
even close. That's probably
No,
worth like 10% of
exactly. But then
everything. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. The whole point
It
is like if they
might be like
actually tried to liquidate it, it'd be worth nothing.
yeah.
If they tried to actually sell it, it'd be worth nothing.
They could drip it out. I don't know. It's
But
like
you can't drip it out if everybody's running in the bank, right?
right, right.
There's your issue right there. So I thought KuCoin was, and this is what they were trying to do with their proof of reserve, of course, was to instill confidence
So that was an
in.
own goal as well.
I mean, they're being honest in their proof of reserves at least, but the
Yeah.
thing is, them saying that, look, see, we have X amount Like, hey, look, FTX had X amount too, but since so much of it was tied up in FTT, it didn't mean anything. If you needed to access, it's not liquid. If you needed to access all of that $500 million of SHIB, could you? No, because you can't sell it. Because if you dumped it on the market, it'd be worth nothing. I don't even know how the fuck KuCoin got into a position where it has so much SHIB. That's an interesting question for another day. How does it even have that much?
This is bizarre. I mean, FTT is still worth quite a bit right now. It's like
SHIB is a parity token of a parity token, right?
FTT. Yeah,
It's a parity token of a parity token.
yeah.
And that is the second biggest holding of KuCoin, which
Oh,
we've done plenty of business on. And I was super confident in it. But should I have been? Every single second that my money was on KuCoin was a danger. And that's why I don't even have money on Coinbase anymore. Okay. Even though I'm still confident in Coinbase, who knows? Who knows at this point what the contagion is? You never know the full scope of contagion until your money is gone.
hmm.
So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
let that be another thing. Like if KuCoin goes down tomorrow, don't say that. Oh, I couldn't see that coming. I just told you that that their second biggest holding is SHIB.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
think SHIB being at $5 billion valuation is not a good sign for crypto still.
no, it's still $5 billion. That's still a big chunk of money.
Almost six, yeah. 5.8.
Yeah, yeah. And
Mm.
Doge, SHIB plus
Yeah,
Doge. How much money is that? How much money do the concerning thing is it's not just your idiot retail investor that has money in these types of things.
right, right.
This
It's
KuCoin. Yeah.
companies.
And we think that, well, the guys at FTX, the guys at Alameda are smarter than us. They wouldn't be caught in UST. They wouldn't be caught in a shit token like FTT. They wouldn't be caught in a shit token like SHIB.
Yeah.
No, you're
And
wrong about all of
yeah,
that. They're caught in
exactly.
all of them.
It turns out that not only are they in it, but that's probably why a lot of these things are worth so much in the first place.
Yes.
So that when shit hits the fan, it goes south quick.
Right. And it's way harder for them to exit than for you. You want to you want to sell $20,000 of SHIB? No problem. No problem. You can sell $20,000 worth of it and you'll get, the price that's on the sticker. KuCoin can't sell out of its holding of SHIB.
Not even close.
No. And so it's just showing I'm not like a anti crypto person, but this is the type of stuff that people should be aware of, and we probably all should have been looking at way closer and not giving them the benefit of the doubt and just thinking of Alameda as some sort of, oh, these are the geniuses. They're way ahead of us. No, this is a dumb fuck. Okay, he put his ugly girlfriend in charge, and she's ugly, by the way. That's the even more offensive part. He didn't even like give it to a hot woman. It's like some nerdy girl, and she's the CEO of Alameda. And what does that mean? That means Sam is the CEO of Alameda because she just does what he says. That's what it
Hmm.
means when she's a CEO, right? And nobody thought about this as a problem, as okay, these are idiots running these companies, because that's not how competent people run companies. They don't just put a girlfriend, like a 20-year-old girlfriend, in charge of a fucking whole company. That's not how it's done. But that's how he did it. And we didn't pay attention because we didn't want to pay attention. The money was flowing in and everybody was getting their gains. So who wants to question all of that?
It's interesting. So Sam Bankman-Fried is actually he's not a billionaire anymore, but he's close. He's still pretty close after
He's
this.
still close. He's not, don't think of him as poor. Yeah.
991.5 million that was as of November 8th.
Right. His holdings in Alameda and FTX are down to zero, but surely he took money out along the way.
Yeah.
He's taken a little bit of money out along the way, and that's added up to almost $1 billion. Because the guy was worth $30 billion at one point. I'm not crying for him either, that idiot. He gave a lot of money to Democrats. You know that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not crying over him. It's a fucking idiot. I'm glad, actually, that this happened to him. Just, the last thing I'll say is if you're on crypto exchanges, remove your money. That's
Oh yeah.
even Coinbase, remove your money.
Public service announcement.
Yeah, don't trust it. Just put it in a lame ass bank Embarrassing. We were even talking about CDs earlier, which is, I think, max capitulation on my part to be talking about some shit like that. I didn't get it. I didn't get one though.
Uh,
I'd rather keep my money in a brokerage,
how long?
just
I
out of
mean,
pride.
yeah, I guess we gotta wait. I don't know, a couple months at least, a few months before.
Well, if CD, you got to lock it
No, no, no. I'm saying before it's safe to get to use the crypto exchanges again. You think?
at least a few months. But I'm not coming back anytime soon. I'm
Yeah.
I'll be back in the markets and whatever holdings I still have in crypto that can't be moved right now. So I can't do anything. So I can't even think about it. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
Whatever happens, happens.